Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer. I'm not out on my usual walks at the moment because it's the winter and we've got another wet, miserable day. And I like to get my walks done when at least it's bright and not raining. I don't want to get my expensive gear broken. So I thought I would make another video about my lovely Esse Ironheart. Now, about a year ago, I made a video called 1 Year with an Esse. 2 years ago, I bought an Esse Ironheart, which is a wood-burning stove. It's a range type thing. It's in my kitchen. It's got two hobs here, one hot and one not so hot, so that when you cook you can move things across, because you can't, unlike gas or electricity, turn things down so much, but that's perfectly fine. And then there's warming areas on the Esse itself that you can place your pans on and keep things hot. It's a brilliant thing and I love it very much. So a year ago, after having had it for 12 months, I wanted to give my impression and reflections on how I'd got on with it. And then I thought 2 years down the line, which is now, I'm just entering into the third year of owning such a thing, whether A, I still enjoy it, and B, is it getting any wear and tear, and what things should I look out for? So that's the purpose of this video, and I hope that you'll find it relatively interesting. So let's talk about the chimney, because the flue, of course, is one of the most important aspects of it, of having a clean flue so that you have the necessary draw up the chimney so that you keep the wood going. I only burn wood, I don't burn coal. And so having that clean is very good. Now, I usually, in the past when I've had stoves, have cleaned them every 2 years, and that seems a very sensible thing. So I'm actually waiting for a period when it's dry and I can clean the flue. It seems okay. I've got access here in this plate and I can get to quite a bit of it, but I can also clean the whole flue as well. But I haven't done that as yet, but I know that this pipe here and the continuing pipe above is pretty clear, so that's fine. I've cleaned out the Esse in my normal fashion, which I do perhaps every 3 to 4 weeks, and there's a video of me doing that. If you're interested, I'll link to it in the description. So really, it's this video is about what's it like at the moment. And one of the things I should say is I use this all year round. Some people just have one of these things for the winter, for special occasions and all that, and they may have gas or electric as a backup. I don't. The only thing I do have is one of those small portable induction hobs. And I can use that at lunchtime for heating up baked beans or soup or anything like that. But generally in the evenings, when I do most of my cooking, I've got my Esse, and it'll be going from, in the winter, depending on how cold the day is, from 4 or 5 until about 8 or 9 at night, and then I let it die down. Some people will keep theirs going obviously all night long, so it's warm in the house in the morning, but I don't bother with that because I'm conserving the wood. It's not the cheapest commodity, but I absolutely love it and it's a wonderful thing. So some of the things I need to look at is the firebox. Inside the firebox you have the fire bricks, and they can deteriorate with age and they'll need replacing when they do. So after 2 years, I'm pleased to see that the fire bricks in my Esse are still very good. They're still robust, they're not crumbling, they're not falling to bits, and they're going to last me another year, I should think. There's one crack at the front, but that's okay. It's not really hindering or doing anything. On the left-hand side is where I have my water boiler. So the grate is heating up the water in a very small little radiator, if you like. You know the radiators you have on the car. So that is looking different because the wood and the ash and the clinker, I suppose, I don't know what you would call it, adheres to the metal more than it does on the fire bricks. But that's all perfectly fine. There's no leaks, so we're looking good there. The main area that I get concerned with is the top, because I suppose the look of it's not a cheap piece of apparatus. The look of it is important. And after a couple of years of me using it and my son and his girlfriend using it, and occasionally cooking as they do with sort of oily, fatty foods, that sprays a lot of fat on. You get water spillage, things boil over, milk and cheese splatters everywhere. And when it's cool, obviously I can clean it with warm water and try and keep it all nice and clean. But after a while, there is a little bit of discoloration. This one doesn't have an enamel surface. And so because it doesn't have an enamel, it's not so easy to wash away all those stains and things. But that's okay. I actually like the finish of this. It's more rustic for me. But one of my viewers said, you want to try some of this? And this is a black stove polish. And it's really good. I quite like it. So I thought I'd just put on a bit of black stove polish. I usually only do the top surface and the hob covers. I've looked under the hobs. There's a little bit of where you get a bit of water, because that is steel. You get a little bit of, is it steel or is it iron? I think it's iron. You get a little bit of rust on there, but it's pretty okay. And I keep it, every time I clean it, I put a little bit of olive oil on the surface there, just to protect it really. It sort of burns off very easily. It doesn't smoke or anything like that. It's just a very, very light skim. But I'm going to put a bit of this oil, this polish on. We'll see the difference. So this is very much like polishing boots really. I suppose you could use brushes to apply it. I don't. I take a little bit of this and I put it onto a cloth, an old cloth. Here's one I've been using with the Esse really since I've had it. So it's obviously black already and I use it for all sorts of bits and bobs. But I'll find a little area like this and I'll apply a small amount and then I mix it in or wipe it into the various areas, trying to keep going so it doesn't dry out too quickly and get an even coverage. I think that's the most important thing. It's not about getting a load of it on. It can be quite thin and it's amazing how it will take, just like on boots. Then I leave it for a short while just to sort of set. I don't know how long you're really supposed to use it. I'm just telling you what I do, and this may be all wrong. I'm sure there are people out there going, oh my God, don't do that. And then I come back and I polish it off, because if you don't leave it, the black polish will come off on your hands. You can see my hands are already dark from cleaning the Esse earlier. And so polish it all off and it really does give a nice finish. So some of that black might still come off occasionally, but once it's been fired and it's warm, that soon disappears and it's not a problem anymore. Trying to keep it clean is always a bit of an issue, and I know there'll be some people who like to keep their places absolutely immaculate and wonderful. I'm not really that bothered. To me, it's the process of cooking on a wood-fired oven is absolutely beautiful. I bake my own bread and the oven is just wonderful for that. So that's it. So I'll polish this up and it will look absolutely fantastic, and it'll be done then for another year. That's my inspection. Of course, I will maintain it and clean it and all of that throughout the year, each little interval of, as I say, 3 to 4 months. But that's more or less it. So I'm really happy with my Esse. I love it very much, and I use it for heating obviously food, it heats my house, it heats my water, and in the kitchen here, after I've washed clothes, I hang them up and it dries them as well. So I get lots of different uses out of it. And do you know, there's nothing nicer than sitting here on a cold winter's day or just standing against it with a cup of coffee and just enjoying the warmth as it glows over you. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting. Bit of a wet day video. Thank you for watching. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, and I'll be out on my walks, as I say ordinarily. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.